Good morning, everyone. Namaste. So nice to have you here this morning. I just love looking at the screen for a moment and seeing who's here. We're going to start the first part of class today with a body scan, and I'm going to sit here and use my microphone so that I'm sure that I'm loud enough for you to be able to hear me. And I'd like for you to find a comfortable place lying down. We're just going to do a nice, simple body scan to start this Sunday morning. So finding a place for a shavasana, just allowing yourself to lay down, relax for a few moments. Letting your eyes close gently. And just becoming aware of the body. The weight of the body on the floor, gravity moving into the body. We're going to just do a quick scan before we start any other part of our practice. So just lying there gently. As I name the place, bring your awareness there. Don't move it. And then we're going to move very quickly. So no focusing, no keeping, no staying, just moving the mind, moving your recording faculty, moving it from place to place, slowly and gently as I speak the place on the body. Taking a big exhale. And then just falling into your natural breath. Bringing your awareness to your right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right arch, heel, top of the foot, ankle, right shin, right calf, back of the knee, front of the knee, the whole lower leg. Bringing your awareness into the thigh, the top of the thigh, the back of the thigh, the sides of the thigh, the whole right thigh. For those of you joining us, we're doing a body scan, laying in Shavasana. Bringing your attention to the left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. The left arch, the left heel, the top of the foot, the left ankle, left shin, calf, the whole lower left leg. The front of the knee, the back of the knee, side to side, the front of the thigh, the back of the thigh, sides of the left thigh, the whole left thigh. Bringing your awareness to the left leg, to the right leg, to the left leg, to the right leg. Bringing your awareness into the lower trunk of the body, your belly, your low belly, your low back, the sides of the hips, your belly button, the upper chest, the ribs, sides of the chest, the back. Bringing your awareness to your right shoulder, left shoulder, back of the right shoulder, front of the right shoulder, back of the left shoulder, front of the left shoulder, the whole trunk of the body, the whole trunk of the body. Bringing your awareness into your right thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky, the right palm, the back of the right hand, right wrist, right forearm, right elbow, right upper arm. Bringing your awareness to your left thumb, left index, middle, ring, pinky finger, left palm, the back of the left hand, the left wrist, the left forearm, whole forearm, the left elbow, the left upper arm, bringing your awareness to the right arm, the left arm, the right arm, the left arm. Bringing your awareness into the head region, the back of the head, the nape of the neck, the front of the neck, the dimple of the throat, the face, the mouth, the nose, the right eye, the left eye, the forehead, your right ear, your left ear, the crown of the head, bringing your awareness into the whole head region. Focusing for a moment on the physical body, on this body that we have. Stula Sharira, gross body. Notice if there are any aches or pains. Take your awareness there, caress them with your thoughts. And for just a moment, listen to my voice as I tell us what we are not. I am not the mind, nor intellect, nor ego, nor the reflection of the inner self. I am not the five senses. I am beyond that. I am not ether, nor earth, nor fire, nor wind. My true form is eternal bliss. Just sitting with that, laying with that thought for a moment, just letting your body realize its infinite nature. And then slowly begin to wake up the body, taking a nice overhead stretch. And then bringing yourself into an embryo pose, either side, right or left, you decide, left or right. And then pressing up to a comfortable seat. Just being aware sometimes that our body is all of these parts that make up a whole. And we use it with our mind, we use it with our breath, our intellect, our energy, everything comes out of this physical body. So beginning to just pay a little bit of attention to the fact that it is not mortal. It's going to continue on in a different way. So bringing your hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Letting your eyes close and your head bow. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters. A special prayer of thanksgiving for my teacher, Baba Haridas. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga, and with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. Find an intention for your practice this morning, usually the first thing that pops in your mind. Repeat it 3 times to yourself, your sankalpa, your firm intention. And then it's Sunday, a day of rest. So thinking of someone or something that needs a little extra rest. a little extra peace of mind, a little extra focus. Bring that person or that object into your mind. And let both those thoughts slip down into your heart space, and we'll bring them back at the end of class. Good, so just resting the hands low on the legs. Flip the palms over. I'll chant one Om, bringing us into the space. Good, and then bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali. Right. And then just placing your left hand down on the floor. And first open your right arm out toward the right, just a little. And then arm coming up overhead. And then letting the movement of your left elbow bend and take you over to the left side. Gentle, maybe looking up a little bit at your right elbow. And then push the floor away, come back up, and letting your right arm float down. Let's float up the left arm, and then opening, good. And then bending the right elbow, reaching over. So gazing a little bit up, maybe even up at the elbow of the left hand, of the left arm. And then begin to straighten the right arm to come up. Good. A little twist over to the right side. A little twist over to the left side. So play with your breath for a moment. Inhaling and exhaling. See where you get most height, most energy. Pressing, lifting. And then coming back into the center. Good. And then taking the arms up overhead for a moment. Interlace the fingers there and squeeze the knuckles up to the floor, up to the ceiling, the palms. Good. Breathing. And then let's take the palms right in front. Press away. Let's switch the interlace, go to the uncomfortable one. And then taking the palms back up toward the ceiling. Just lifting up toward the ceiling. Good. And then release the arms completely. Gently releasing the arms. Good. Sitting for a moment, just noticing your shoulders. And then draw your belly back. Lift up one more time. Holding on to the right wrist, reach over to the left. Coming back into the center, switch wrist, belly is in. And over to the right side. And back up. Both arms back behind. Interlacing fingers there, opening, warming up the shoulders. And then release. Good. So if you have a block or a pillow, we're going to sit for just a moment on the block or on the pillow, and you can even take your pillow and fold it and put it underneath you. Sitting with our legs right in front of us. So no rotation to the legs. Just right in front of us. You can be on a block, a pillow, a folded pillow, a book. Good. So finding this comfortable place with your legs, hopefully. And if you need to get taller, put a block and a pillow until you're nice and comfortable here. Good. Because we want our legs to be in this position with no rotation yet. Good, arms out to the side. And then both arms coming up, palms facing one another. Bend the elbow of the left arm. And then reach in front for a moment and just push the elbow back, right against the tricep. Push the elbow back. Good. And then take again the right arm up. And then reach back for the elbow. See if you can just move it back even a little bit more. Working on the shoulders. Also working on the hips. Good, and then release. And then coming up again, palms facing each other, right from the whole of the arm. That's external rotation. So we externally rotated and then we adducted our arms. We added them together. And then bend the elbow of the right arm. And then press back, press the tricep. You've been doing asana every day. You may feel a little soreness there. That may be a good sign. And then reach up. And with the elbow, don't trap your neck. Make sure your neck isn't trapped. Pull back a little. Good, just until you get a nice open feeling stretch, but not pressing so much that you can't hold it when you release the hand. Breathing. Good, and then release. Release all the way, good. And then nice tall spine. Now notice how our legs are, they're right in front of us for a moment. We're gonna get a little bit of internal rotation in the hip. Those of you with bad knees, be super careful, don't go far. Just taking your feet out a little into Virasana, good, okay? So feet are out a little, this puts a little internal rotation in the hip area. Great. And then again, arms out. So we're going to do eagle arms for just a moment. So we're going to cross the left arm over and then take the right arm on top as far as you can take it and then reach away as much as you can and then bend the back of the arms toward each other. Gaze through your fingers and then take the elbows up to shoulder height, maybe a little further. And then down toward the chest as the arms open a little bit. Bend them back and up. Shoulder down and open. One last time. Up and down and open. Good. Come right back up to shoulder height and then open. Good. Make sure your legs are feeling okay. And if they're feeling okay for some of us, it may have relaxed enough that we can take them even 1 centimeter more. Just one tiny little bit of the feet to give a little bit more rotation at the hip girdle. Be careful, don't go to any pain at all. Now the same thing on the other side. We're going to walk the right arm over and then the left arm on top and then reach, reach, reach. And then fold the back of the arms up together. You can go all the way around with the wrist and the hands or just stay where you are. And inhale, rise up. And exhale, come down and open the arms as much as is comfortable. Don't go past your edge. One more. And then come into neutral and release out to the side. Once again, the arms back behind us, interlace, squeeze the knuckles toward the floor. Good. And then tucking our feet in, little by little, just tuck the feet, both feet in again. Good. And then standing up on our knees for just a moment. Good. And then slowly and gently, we're going to just open our arms and show our sternum. Don't thrust anything forward. And exhale. 3 times. Nothing thrust forward. Keep the legs and the low belly where they are, open, and return. Showing your sternum to the ceiling. Good, and then taking our bottom to the heels. You can put your block right on your, above your heels for a moment. Good, and then come up. And so let's keep our block or our pillow or something close to us. And then coming down onto the floor, finding a nice cross-legged seat for a moment. Your block is handy. Sitting nice and tall. So we're going to keep the right heel into the groin and the left leg back behind us. And if you have both sit bones still on the floor, wonderful. If you do not have both sit bones on the floor, take your block, lift, place the block underneath your hip. So it's underneath the right hip. The block or the pillow or the bolster is underneath the right hip. And then a little twist out to the right. Take your gaze back over your left shoulder. Gaze as far to the left as you can. And then take just the gaze as far to the right as you can. Hold it, eyes may water. And then release the gaze back to the center and release the twist. A little bit of twist to the other side. A little. Good. And then come up off. You can just swish your legs behind you and sit back down. And if you're on both sit bones, wonderful, stay there. But if you're not, go ahead and place this underneath your left hip this time, evening out completely. And on your next inhale, a little twist over to the left. Take your gaze all the way out over your right shoulder. Keep looking as far to the right as you can. And then look to the left. Gaze looking to the left. Then release the gaze to center and a little twist to the other side. Coming up off of the block and coming down, all the way down. Bringing both soles of the feet together into Vajrasana. Find a diamond with your legs, a nice diamond. Good. And with this pose, we're going to undulate forward a couple of times. And you can put a pillow underneath your hips if that makes it more comfortable. We're going to undulate forward. And then once we get there, we're going to just hold our thighs, our shins, our feet, wherever we happen to be. Tuck the chin into the chest. And then peel the chin off and look forward, gazing forward. Coming up, nice and tall. And then bringing the knees together. Squeeze the knees together. Good, breathing. I'm not sure what's happening in my computer and why it's making all these noises. Stay where you are and do a couple more twists to either side. Just twisting. Twist to the other side, even out both sides of the body. Good. Okay, we'll see if that works. I'm not sure if we just have low internet today, which may be the case. I had a weaker signal. Dana, I can see you. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, I'm gonna go back and pretend it's all right. And I'm gonna mute. Remind me I did that. Okay, hopefully you can still hear me. I just muted that little beep that was happening all the time. Great. So find your comfortable seat and let's make some circles around it. Beautiful, big circles. Other direction. So this is really rolling our pelvic basket, our trunk, around the heads of the femurs. This works beautifully on opening up our hip area. Good. And then coming into a neutral place, nice and tall. Again, taking the arms up overhead, reaching up, arms out to shoulder height, pressing away. And then reach the arms in for a moment. And then going into goddess pose. So goddess with the arms. Good. And then relax. So coming up gently into a toe balance with our knees on the floor. Knees are on the floor. Today, everything is low, smooth, soft, really calling in the kapha to help us stay stable and grounded, earth and water, staying close to Mother Earth today. Good, so we're in this little balance, and then from the balance, coming into goddess. And you may want to come up off of your knees and balance there. Just bringing in balance, energy. The whole body balancing. Belly to spine, breath is in the chest. And then slowly try to keep your balance as you draw the arms together, slowly, as if you were resisting water. Let the forearms and the palms touch, and then bring them back away. Slowly, one more time, into goddess. Opening, maybe take them a little bit past your shoulders, and then neutral. And then relax the arms, good, and come down onto your bottom. Let's work with just the left leg for a moment, just taking the left leg and reaching it out. And it can be as bent as you'd like. Good. Just reaching it out for a moment. And then drawing it into the center. And out. Try not to let your body move. Keep this movement only in the leg. Knee can stay bent. And back to center. And one more time. And then bend the knee and replace that foot. Good. Rest, just notice any sensation in the hip area. And then coming over, use your peace fingers, grab your big toe of your right leg, and then slowly straighten the leg out, external rotation. Knee can be bent. We're working at the hip joint. So don't strain your knee. And then slowly bring it back, add it to the midline. And then draw it away. Keep your body stable as you gently move your leg out to the side. Draw it back. And one more time, out to the side. Nice and gentle. Bringing it back. And bending it and placing it on the floor. And then squeezing both knees together. Relax your groin for a moment. Relax the pelvic floor for a moment. Just relax. And then we're going to take Vajrasana again, putting the soles of the feet together. Lift the pelvic floor before you go there. Come up onto your sit bones. And then open the legs. Just seeing if that made any difference in your Vajrasana. All of the internal rotation and external rotation we've been doing on our legs. We were talking yesterday about Hanuman, broken jaw, broken ego, the jaw holding that ego space. Our hips hold grief. Our hips hold a lot of sadness. So working in this area can make us very sensitive sometimes to things that we might not be sensitive to. One of my dear friends and I many years ago did a whole hip opening class, and then we went to one of the projects here and watched the kids do a play and cried the whole play. It wasn't anything I would normally cry about, but I just could release it. Thank God. Okay. Now back into bull pose for just a moment. So totally bring in your left heel to the groin, right heel back, and just check and see if that feels different. See if the hips are a little bit more even. And if they're not, you don't need to block this time. Just lean over and lift up and open up. And exhale and close it. Good. Switch legs, switch them over. And just see if that one also feels any different now. Working into that grounding space. And then sweep your arm up, sweep your hips up, open up, raise up, lift up. And exhale, bring it back. Good. Bringing the legs back together one last time. And then we're going to take that diamond and this time shake your hips out, lift them up and just shake them out. Make sure your diamond is big enough because I want a relationship between the crown of your head and the arches of your feet. And you're going to get that relationship by tucking your chin in, pulling your chest back, rounding your spine, and letting the crown of the head reach toward the arch. It doesn't have to touch. Energetic relationship. Making a circle, belly to spine. Hollow out your belly. Curl your spine. Tuck your chin. And some of you will place your crown of the head in those arches. Wherever you are is perfect today. And then begin to gaze out past your feet. Coming back up slowly. Nice, comfortable seat. Knees together. Press them together again. Hold the knees, press them together. Release the groin. Relaxing your adductors. Good. And now we're going to go down to the floor. We're going to make our way all the way down slowly. We're going to do a little bit of that leg work and rotation there, okay? So as you lie down, if you have a strap, you might want to grab it, but if you don't have a strap, we're going to hold onto our pant leg or the leg. It doesn't matter. You don't need a strap, okay? So just lying down. Bend your knees. Keep your feet firmly on the floor. And as you inhale, taking your right leg up toward the ceiling for a minute. No hands, right leg up toward the ceiling. Flex the foot, press through it. And then slide your left leg down along the floor for a minute and see if that takes out some of the upness that may bring you here. That's fine. Just keeping the right leg straight, left leg straight, wherever they are is perfect. And then take both of your hands for a minute and hold them on your left pelvic basket as you begin to open the right leg. Just a little, not too much because it's going to take the weight. And then with your right hand, hold on to your left leg at the thigh. Let it open, but use your arm and your hand to hold it open. Keep the left hip down. You're looking at the ceiling. I'm looking at the microphone. Good, and then on your next inhale, bring it back to neutral. Bring it back to neutral. Bend your left knee, put your foot on the floor. Just listen carefully, you won't have to look. Lift your hips off the floor. Shift them over to the right about 3 or 4 inches and drop them down. Again, extend out your left leg. And then take your upper right leg over to the left. And your left hand here can hold it close to the knee, looking up at the ceiling. And on your next inhale, bringing it back. Good, bend the knee, put the foot on the floor, shift yourself back into neutral, bend your left leg, both legs are back up again. Good. And now extend up your left leg. Just extending the left leg up, right leg is bent. Breathe, press through the heel, flex the foot, very, very active foot. And then sliding your right leg along the floor. That may take a little of that upward movement out of your left leg, that's fine. And then taking the left leg out to the left, holding it with your left arm. Keep your right hip down, putting your right hand on your right pelvic basket. Press into that pelvic basket, make sure it's not coming off the floor. And then draw the left leg all the way back up front and center. Bend the right knee. Lift your hips off. Shift them to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. Extend your right leg all the way along the floor. And then take your left leg over to the right. Have your right hand waiting for it. Breathe. And on your next inhale, draw the leg back up. Put the right foot on the floor. Shift your hips back and then draw both feet to the floor, knees are bent. Good. So yesterday we talked a little bit about if you have eye pressure problems, glaucoma or any sort of eye pressure, you do not want to invert, okay? If you're on your menstrual cycle, you do not want to invert. If you have a high blood pressure uncontrolled, you do not want to invert. If you have it controlled with medicine, you're fine. But be sure that you know what you're doing when you're inverting, okay? So those of you who can't invert, this is perfect. Right here, legs up. That's enough of an inversion. And if you have a wall, you can take a little less inversion. Legs just right up the wall, like that. And that's plenty, okay? So, and those of us who can invert, we're going to decide if we want to do our bridge pose as our inversion, lifting one leg at a time because we've been doing the leg work, or if we want to take Viparit Karani Mudra, put the block underneath us, lift up, or if we want to do Viparit Karani Mudra without the block, like a piked shoulder stand, or a shoulder stand, or a headstand, or anything that's going to give you an inversion. So take a moment and find your inversion for the practice today. Relax your jaw. You're inverting, but hopefully not straining. See if there's anywhere that you don't need a muscle action that you have tight. And then very gently dropping your knees down or coming out of your inversion, whatever it may be. Bringing your feet to the floor, lifting off the block if you're on a block, and just setting your bottom down, reaching your spine long, finding your Shavasana, your corpse pose. Resting your arms away from your body. Letting the breath be soft and shallow, just enough to sustain you. Slowly remembering the body scan at the beginning of the practice. Taking the next 5 or 6 breaths to walk yourself through it quickly. Being aware of our bodies, made of the 5 elements. Begin to bring the senses online, swimming your fingers, twinkling your toes, eyes rolling, tongue moving, nose wiggling, ears wiggling. And then maybe a nice big overhead stretch. And then bringing your arms in, bending your knees, putting your feet on the floor, shift your hips up, take them away from me a few inches, and roll over to the other side, curled up in embryo. And then slowly begin to press the floor away. Let yourself spiral up, head being the last thing to come up. Chin will release. And finding a nice, comfortable seat. Just allowing your eyes to close softly for a moment. Just bringing yourself in touch with your breath. Not changing it, just observing it. And for the next few breaths, just saying what you're doing, not do what you're saying. When you feel yourself inhaling, I'm inhaling. When you feel yourself exhaling, I'm exhaling. Watching the breath. And then letting your eyes flutter open gently. This morning, our breath practice, we've done it once and you might remember it. Dirga Rechak, long exhale. So we'll take in an inhale, however we want, and then make our exhale as smooth and slow and soft and gentle and even as possible. Our exhale is what will tell our autonomic nervous system that we are fine to take a small inhale, because it's the CO2 buildup that activates the hypothalamus and says, breathe. So for just a moment, exhaling the breath all the way out, just press it out. And then as you inhale, nice big inhale, and then slow down the exhale. Slowly, softly, gently, smoothly, even. And whenever you get to the end of that exhale, a slight pause, grab an inhale, and do it again. Dirga Rich. And at the bottom of the exhale that you're on, bringing the practice to a close, noticing any effects. Check in with your own shallow breath. Did the breath get even shallower, softer, more gentle? The next practice is Dirga Purak, long inhale. This can be more challenging for some, for others the other one is more challenging. We'll exhale the breath all the way out, and then we'll pull in the inhale as slowly, gently, evenly, smoothly as possible. At the top of the inhale, a slight pause. Exhale it out any way you can, and then slowly bring in the next breath. Dirga Purak. Exhaling to begin. Nice big exhale. Inhaling slowly, gently as possible. Don't forget your back body. Send it into the back body, into the sides of the ribs. Send the breath everywhere around the circumference of your chest area. On your next exhale, bringing the practice to a close and sitting for a moment, noticing the effects of both practices. Dirga Rechak, Dirga Purak. Breath is soft and shallow as we move into our meditation. Spine is tall. Just relaxing into the body, into the floor. Spine lifts, base is soft. Envision a long line of energy, like the filament of a light bulb, from the base of your spine to the crown of your head, moving in the center part of the body. Just a gentle line, a filament of light. Imagining the light getting brighter until it's the size of your thumb. A filament the size of your thumb from the base of the body to the crown of the head. Imagine this filament growing now until it's the size of your head. A cylinder of light from the head all the way to the base of the body. And then letting this light become even more brilliant as it moves all the way into the body. Feeling the body, all the skin. And then beyond the body until you are seated in an egg-shaped light. A brilliant light. This light is purifying. This light is blessed. This light is pure, eternal bliss. Letting your mind begin to reduce the light to the sides of your skin, to the size of the cylinder, to the size of your thumb, until it is a bright filament of light, the width of a hair, from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Something that you can bring back anytime during your day to purify, to sit in eternal bliss. Bringing the hands into the heart. Any merit we may have gained today, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentiments. Finding your attention, your offering, letting those slip down out of your mind into your heart, that heart-brain connection. Out of your heart symbolically into the palms of your hands, and just lift it up and let it go off into the world, off into the universe, off into the nether. Relaxing your hands on your legs for just a moment longer. Sealing your practice. Hands into the heart, Anjali. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Okay, now it's ready where you can chime in and speak or talk or anything. So nice to see you. Let me get myself in gallery view so I can see more faces. Great. So nice to have you this morning. It's kind of a quiet, it was very fog that I'm up on the volcano, and so we were sucked in with, we were in a cloud this morning, and it felt very dense and Mm, yeah, it was a different kind of morning. Let's see, there's a chat here. Oh, you're welcome. Any questions about the practices, Dirga Rechak, Dirga Purak? Any questions about the inversions? Hopefully everybody is being careful at home. Any questions about the hip openers or anything that we did today? Any questions at all or comments? You can unmute by either touching your space bar or hitting that little microphone. So nice to see you. and not see you, but see your name for some of you. It's really nice.
Ginger.
Yes.
I just have a question. When we do that stretch and put the hand in the floor,
Uh-huh.
I feel my thumb very strongly stretching. Is that normal?
Your thumb?
Yeah.
I think that might be good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the feeling may happen because of what you're doing in your neck. So just be careful because the feeling in our thumb comes from our cervical spine. So you may be pinching a nerve and it's giving you more sensation make sure your head doesn't like flip, like keep your neck long and open, but not drop your neck, and see if that has anything to do, because it could be you're stimulating a nerve.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Jean, did you have a question?
I do. My question is, do the hip openers also address the tight IT bands, or would that be another?
That's
movement?
another one. We can work on IT tomorrow when we do a little more active practice again. There's a lot of really good stuff to work on the IT. You're not working on the IT band. The IT band doesn't move. It's hard fascia. You work on the tensor fascia lata,
that's right.
muscle that's underneath it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any questions or comments? Let's see. Can you invert when you're having a headache? I tell you what, the only thing that got me through menopause was inversions. I'd have a headache or I would have a hot flash. And if I went upside down, and I didn't have to go upside down far, I could just be in a chair and put my head off the chair. And that helped me get some blood into my head. So it depends. If you're having a sinus headache, then you don't want to, because you may have too much mucus and stuff going on there. If you do mountain pose and you get a really big headache, that's usually sinus. It's sort of, it's a Ayurvedic answer to everything is it depends. We have a longer discussion and find out what's really going on. Yeah. Okay. Because it has to depend on what kind of headache it is, Sumar. So anything about the dirgas or anything about those breath patterns that anybody has a question? They're just really nice and simple, but they are so powerful, especially for quieting the mind. Just raise your thumb if you felt your mind quieter, a lot quieter after the first one, right? The Raychak, because that's the one that really does work on getting the CO2 out of your system, so your mind just gets softer and gentler, right? Everything just, because it's not needing that autonomic system slows down because of that full exhale, which is why in a lot of pranayams, you'll exhale 4, exhale 8, inhale 4, or your inhale 8 and exhale 16. So it's really working on reducing the CO2 in the body. We'll often think erroneously that we are increasing oxygen when we do pranayama, but our purpose of pranayama is to decrease CO2 levels, really. Yeah.
I have another question, Ginger.
Yes.
About the Kapalabhati, Ginger's way. I'm trying to do that, but it's really hard because I find myself moving my tummy when I try to
move your tummy. But my question, some people need to move their tummy because they don't have any place else to get that power from. So
Okay.
fine, move your tummy, but ask yourself, do you feel it in your head or do you feel it in your belly after you've done the practice? That's the
In my
question.
head.
Your focus is
Okay.
here. And some people, you know, if you don't have a lot of rib and transverse abdominis power yet, it's going to feel like you're only being able to use your rectus abdominis, and that's what a lot of people will have to use to get started. But later it'll be more full around the circumference of your whole rib cage when you're doing that. Exhale, exhale, exhale. But for now, wherever you can exhale, but just keep it small so that you're keeping it in your head region, right? In your head. The
Okay,
effect of it. Like when you get done, you should just be able to sit there and go, oh, my head feels so good, right?
Okay, thank you very much.
You're so welcome, Martha. And someday soon, hopefully, in this not too distant future, I will see you physically and we can practice it together. Martha's a
Okay.
neighbor of mine here. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? I want to see who that is. It says MacBook. Is that Dana? Who is that? You're muted. Unmute.
Flori.
Oh, Flori. Hi. How are you?
Hi.
So nice to have you.
Thank you.
It's so small and everybody looks a little bit different than normally I have them in my head. Like Nayana, I can never tell who she is. I have to see her name because she's far enough and she has enough stuff in the background. She's like this little tiny thing. Any questions at all? It's a beautiful Sunday. We are now, well, no, you can't see the volcano, so we are not yet out of the fog, and hopefully it's fog and not ash. I didn't hear anything last night, but that doesn't mean anything because we don't want the quality of our air to be deeply affected right now, of course. But hopefully everybody is taking good care. Everybody is eating well, and so grateful that we have a place to cook and good food and a nice roof over our head. And hopefully we're all doing something for someone that has less than we do. Hopefully all of us are doing that. Yeah, so it's beautiful to see you. And if you don't have any questions, we'll just close off today and tomorrow a whole new day. And I'm going to write myself a note right now to do a little bit of IT band or tensor fascia lata work, right?
Great.
Okay.
Ginger,
Hmm?
in San Pedro, I'm in San Pedro Las Huertas, and I can see the volcano, so it must not be the ash.
Okay, and hopefully it's
Yes,
just
clear.
fog on my side. Hopefully it's just fog.
Yeah, I hope so.
But I can't see either one of them, so. I live on one volcano and there are two out my window, one of which is active all day long and smokes and puffs and grunts and groans. And yeah, I told my kids, if I ever go because of a volcanic eruption, I just want you to know I went happy. Not because I was in a volcanic eruption, but because I love where I am. So, yeah. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful Sunday. Have a wonderful Sunday. Much love to you. Have a great day and take care of yourselves. Eat well, sleep well.
Namaste.
Thank you, Ginger.
Thank you so much. Namaste.